Hi, everybody. My first guest tonight says that the U.S. is run by a two-gang system. Here to discuss his new book, Demo Crips and We Bloodlickens. No more gangs in government. Please welcome former Minnesota governor and America's favorite conspiracy theorist, Jesse Ventura.
Well,
okay, Jesse.
Thanks. Joy, first I'd like to say I do a show on conspiracy theories and I wrote a book about them. This book has no theory in it at all.
Okay.
This book is all facts.
Right.
This book from top to bottom is facts. It's all backed up at the end of every chapter of where everything is learned.
Yeah, I saw you have quite a thing at the back.
Oh, yeah.
But, you know, this show is called Say Anything, and when we named it that, I thought of you, because I know that you will say anything, and that's why we wanted you on the show.
Oh, well, thank you.
What else? Are you doing any other shows, or is
yeah, I'll be doing a few. I'm in New York for a week now, and so I'll be doing. I'm doing everything that isn't on MSNBC and Fox because they've banned me.
What about NBC and CBS?
Those tough guys from Fox won't have me on.
Really? What are they scared of?
I don't know. You'd have to ask them.
What do you think?
They refuse to have me on. Well, I think it's because I can't be intimidated. You know, they live on intimidation over there, and they got to look me eye to eye. And like I told Sean Hannity once, I said, remember something, Sean, you got to sleep sometime.
Oh, my. Okay. I'm very glad that we're friends, Jesse.
We're good friends, Joy, because you have me on.
Yes, that's right. So, okay, so
go to bed and sleep well when you do.
So I know that you can't stand either party. You think that the Republicans and the Democrats are gangs. Okay, so, but if someone had a gun to your head and said you had to vote for either Obama or Romney, who would you vote for?
I'd take the bullet.
No, you would not.
Yes, I would. I wouldn't vote for, you know, these gangs have sold out our country, these two. They are totally bought and sold with the help of the Supreme Court. When the Supreme Court said corporations have the same right as people and that money is free speech, goodbye, the United States of America as we know it.
I agree with that.
Because now they are getting boatloads of corporate money. They don't even have to say who they get it from. They could actually be bought off by China. China could come here and contribute millions of dollars to a political campaign now, and they don't even have to reveal it.
Is there any way to stop that?
Yeah.
How?
Well,
you have to impeach the Supreme Court.
No, the way to stop it is simple. It's as easy and simple as the nose on your face, but it's as difficult as climbing Mount Everest. Stop voting for them.
Well, but
stop voting for them.
Well, that's not going to happen. So let's get real.
Well, it could happen. It happened in Minnesota. I won.
That's true, but that's one state. I mean,
well, it's a start, isn't it?
Well, I think that if you started a movement like that, you would be a marked man.
I'll tell you something, Joy. I'll give you two things that if they would happen, I would run for president.
Yeah.
First of all, if there was a grassroots movement out there which required no money, because I think the raising of this money is obscene, what they do. If a grassroots movement started to get my name on the ballot in all 50 states, to where my name would be on the ballot, and if they could guarantee me I could participate in the debates, those two things happen, Jesse Ventura would run for president.
Well, you're dreaming, Jesse, all right?
Well,
just saying.
that's why I don't want to run. Well, it could. They did it to Perot. Perot got ballot access,
and
they let him. Well, that's why the two gangs won't let it happen.
Well, I mean,
is that America?
I hear what you're saying.
We never get a third choice. No one's ever allowed. That's how I won the governorship of Minnesota. I was allowed to debate.
I know, but I remember when Al Gore was running against W. Bush, and because of Ralph Nader's presence on a third-party ticket, he might have Al Gore might have lost that election because of Ralph Nader, because those votes went to Ralph Nader.
That is not true. That is a cop-out. That's a complete cop-out. People vote for the candidate they want to be president. And for people to say, well, you voted for this third entity. If you had voted for these other two, this one would have won.
Well, then why do they say that? They always say it's going to take away votes from the Democrats or the Republicans.
That's an excuse they use for losing.
All right.
They have to blame someone. They're not going to blame themselves, so they have to find someone else to blame.
All right.
I voted for Ralph Nader because I wanted Ralph to be the president.
Okay, well, I
had nothing to do with...
Well, since I'm at current, I just want to say I voted for you, Al. Okay, I did, and I did.
And Al won the popular vote.
He did.
Isn't that amazing?
And he should have been the president.
He won by 500,000 votes, but only in the presidency can you get more votes and lose. Anywhere else,
well, you
Senate,
you have
governor,
issues with the Electoral College also.
Absolutely,
then.
It should be abolished immediately.
Well, it's possible that Obama could win because of the Electoral College. So
what?
I'm just saying. Now let's talk about church and state, because are you a religious person?
No, I'm an atheist.
You're an atheist. You know, it's interesting factoid I looked up. 54% of Americans now say that they would vote for an atheist. Does that shock you?
Yes. That shocks me beyond belief, because I never believed if you're an admitted atheist you could ever win an election here.
Well, now it might be changing.
See, I put it in the same as Santa Claus, the Easter Bunny, and the Tooth Fairy.
Religion?
Yeah.
Uh-huh. Well, that would get you in a lot of trouble. I mean, look at today what's going on in Libya, you know?
Yeah.
And Romney, as a matter of fact, is criticizing
Egypt, wasn't it? Egypt?
No, it was Libya.
Oh, it was Libya.
They stormed the embassy. They killed the American ambassador over there and others. And
well, then I think we ought to go to war, don't you?
No.
I don't either.
No.
But I think that's what their reaction will be.
But it was all because somebody insulted Muhammad in a movie. And people are very touchy about these type of things. Yeah. So I was annoyed with the guy who wrote the book, to tell you the truth, and putting out the movie, whoever translated it. It's so provocative, you know. But Governor Romney criticized President Obama right off the top on this. Don't you think that in the middle of a crisis like this, he should keep his mouth shut? Or not?
It depends on what the crisis is, and I think it would depend on the situation. I mean, when George Bush decided to go into Iraq, I didn't keep my mouth shut.
No.
I said, what are we doing? And you know what the most scariest thing, speaking of religion?
Yeah.
The scariest thing I ever heard out of George Bush, when he was getting ready to invade Iraq, the media asked him if he had consulted his father, meaning Senior Bush, because he had good, and George Bush turned around and said, no, I consulted a higher father.
Yeah.
So this guy wants me to believe he talks to God and God hears him and talks back. I'm supposed to, Joy, I've been on the planet 60 years and I've lived a pretty good life. God ain't never said one word to me.
Really?
In them 60 years.
Maybe it's you.
You think so?
No, I'm teasing.
Well, if he created me, wouldn't he talk to me?
You would think she would talk to you.
Well, there you go, too.
So now,
there you go, too.
What about the debates? Do you think, is there any value to the debates coming up for you? Nothing.
Nothing. Because we're going to get the same government no matter who wins. They're all bought off by the same corporations. I mean, when Obama ran in 08, first of all, I had great sympathy for him because I told my wife, whoever becomes the president in 08 is going to get blamed for everything Bush and Cheney did.
That's right. That's
which Obama has received that blame. Well, but the other thing, Obama ran on change. I haven't seen one shred of change. We're the same country we were 4 years ago, except we're better off because we don't have George Bush. But other than that, the only difference is the color of their skin.
Well, you know, he has done certain things.
What?
Obama. Well, we have a health care system that's going to go into place. There are a lot of people who are benefiting from that.
Yeah.
He's captured Osama bin Laden.
Really?
He tried to get
do you believe that?
I do.
Really? I don't, because they've lied to me so often. They lied about weapons of mass destruction in Iraq. They lied about Iraq's ties to Al-Qaeda. There were none. They lied about the rescue of Jessica Lynch. And the one that really burns me up is they lied about the murder of Pat Tillman. So how do I believe one word that comes out of this government when all they do is lie? And what's interesting about that, Joy, is if I lie to the government, I go to jail. When they lie to me, we go to war. I think we're on the wrong end of the stick on both.
We're going to have more with Governor Ventura in just a minute. We're back with Governor Jesse Ventura. You know, Jess, before we were talking about how you're banned from MSNBC and Fox and CBS and NBC and ABC and every place, pretty much.
Every alphabet's got me banned.
But, you know, those are pretty, you know, establishment sort of places. But I was shocked to see that the Huffington Post banned you, too.
Oh, they didn't ban me. They censored me.
What did they do to you?
Well, Arianna Huffington had been badgering me for a couple years to write for them.
Yeah.
And so I finally wrote an article, and they posted it for an hour, and then they removed it, and they said, we don't print conspiracy theories.
Oh, I see.
But it wasn't.
What was it about?
I wrote about a convention that took place in San Francisco that happened where 1,400 architects and engineers put their careers on the line and signed a petition demanding a new investigation of 9/11 because they all agreed the building couldn't go down like we were told it did.
Oh, you're a truther.
No, I'm not a truther. I do my own. I do my own investigating. I don't belong to any organization. But this event took place. And all I did was write about it. Mainstream media wouldn't cover it.
So Ariana didn't like that?
Yeah, she didn't like that I covered that these 1,400 people demanded a new investigation of 9/11. It was no conspiracy theory. It was over an event that took place in Frisco that mainstream media wouldn't cover.
I see. Okay, I'm just wondering why that happened.
I am too.
Yeah. Now, somebody told me that you took a 2-day train trip to get here from Minnesota.
A day and a half.
A day and a half. And
I refuse to fly anymore.
You won't fly anymore. Why not?
Well, because I'm tired of being treated like a criminal at the airport. I have metal in my body, so when I go through the metal detector, I could go through naked. It's going to go off. It's inside my body.
Do you mind if I ask you why you have metal in your body?
On my hip.
Oh, you have a replacement hip.
No, I have the new technique. It's called hip resurfacing. They don't cut the femur bone, but they cover your the joint and the ball of the joint with carbon titanium steel, and then they put you back together.
So when you go through that thing, you set off an alarm?
Absolutely.
So what?
Well, then I'm subjected to the sexual assault or the X-ray machine.
Oh, come on, Jesse.
I had it done once. It's a sexual assault.
Which, the thing that blows steam up your...
No, they pat you down and sexually assault you. If they did it on the street, they'd be arrested.
Is that what they did? They never did that to me. Don't they like me?
I don't know. And then that's the other part. You can't even choose who's going to do it.
Yeah.
Let
me get the cute guy over there to do it.
Wait, I'm not homophobic, but I would prefer where they touch me that it be a woman.
Really?
Yeah. But I get a man.
Yeah. So
why? Why can't I have a woman do it?
You're not homophobic, but you don't want a man touching you.
Not where they do.
Well, I mean,
He's not a doctor.
So do you allow your doctor to do anal examinations?
Sure.
Sure. Okay.
But that's a doctor.
Yeah. Well,
that's not a minimum wage TSA employee sitting out at the airport, and the point of the matter is bigger than that.
I don't know what the minimum wage has to do with the fact that they're trying to
He's not educated.
So even if he's not educated, so what?
That allows him to grope me?
No, but that's part of the job, is to feel you up.
Part of the job is to because let's see now, I've been a mayor. I sued under the Fourth Amendment to the Constitution, reasonable search and seizure. The key word's reasonable. So you think it's perfectly reasonable that Jesse Ventura, who's an honorably discharged Navy veteran, a mayor, a governor, and has been flying for 30 years, I pose a threat?
I'm not saying you do, but they have to do their job.
No, they don't have to.
Little old ladies who from Iowa walk through, and they have to frisk them too. It's all part of the job.
Really?
And I certainly.
Well, you know why? Because we're not paying attention to Ben Franklin. Benjamin Franklin said, "Those that will give up their liberty for security shall have and deserve neither." That's what we're happy to do.
Well,
you're happy to do it.
I'm not happy.
Give up my freedom. Just keep me safe.
I'm not happy to do it, but I don't want the plane to blow up. So I go along. I go along with it.
It won't.
All right, if you say so, Jesse.
Well, I just quit. Janet Napolitano said if you don't like it, but the bigger thing is this. Here's the point to get to, is this. People need to understand clearly, when you go to any airport in America, you are not protected by the Constitution. You are not protected by the Bill of Rights. You don't even know, you can't even know what the rules are, because it's considered national security. So they can do anything to you out there, and you have nowhere to seek redress for it.
Well, you know, the country changed on 9/11.
Yeah, to the worse.
Listen,
the terrorists won.
It was a terrible thing that happened.
No, the terrorists have won.
Certain adjustments are being made.
No, the terrorists have won. They've changed America. We are not the same country now. We've lost our... George Bush said they attacked us because of our freedoms. Well, obviously, they're not going to attack us anymore because we've lost our freedoms, so they can't be jealous of that anymore. We're not free anymore.
Well, I think that they wanted our heads also. Not just our freedom.
Really?
Yeah, I do.
You're naive.
I am naive. I am naive. I believe in certain principles. I'm not quite as paranoid.
You don't believe your country would do anything wrong?
Oh, no. I don't go for that, my country, right or wrong. I mean, we've made mistakes, but I'm still an American, and I stand by the country.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't anymore.
I see that. Is that why you moved to Mexico?
I only live there half the year.
That's enough. So you're half an American?
No.
Half a Mexican?
I just prefer the weather.
Okay.
And I prefer the freedom down there.
Let me run by you some names, just names, and just give me your snapshot. I love to do this with people like you because you're so quick.
Well, first, let me hit the book a second. One thing you need to know in the book, did you know that all the major corporations pay more to lobbyists than they do taxes?
I believe that.
Isn't that a little
There's
weird?
a lot of things that are irritating.
Isn't that a little bit out of line? When GE can make $14 billion and pay zero taxes, that's because the Democrats and Republicans are bought out by the corporations. Mussolini'd be proud of the United States today because we're fascists now.
Okay, so let me just throw some names out at you and just tell me what you think. Arnold Schwarzenegger. Nothing.
Well, Arnold Schwarzenegger, great action hero in the movies.
Okay. Larry Flint, who's, by the way, offering $1 million to anybody who can produce Romney's tax returns.
Larry Flint's a great American.
You think so?
Yep, because he battled and went to court for the First Amendment right and stood up for our Bill of Rights and Constitution.
Right.
You may not agree with what he puts out there, but he puts himself on the line for the people of the United States so we can have our freedoms.
He's a big freedom guy. You're right. Okay, but you know, do you think that somebody will come out and to take the $1 million?
I don't know,
produce
because
the tax returns?
He did the same thing with George Bush. He asked for anyone that had seen him on that military base down in Mississippi. He offered, and nobody came forward because Bush wasn't there. You can't come forward if you weren't there. And somebody would have came forward for the money. If I'd have seen him in the chow hall, I'd have called Larry and said, yeah, I saw him there.
But nobody did.
Nobody did.
Okay, what about Bill Clinton? How do you feel about him?
He's one of the smoothest politicians there ever was.
Did you see his speech at the convention?
No, I didn't watch 1 minute of either convention. I don't need to watch 3 hours of lying.
Okay.
You know, all they're going to do is make these great general statements. They're going to tell us all the stuff they're going to do. They're going to lie through their teeth, and none of it's going to come true. So I don't need to watch that. Well, you know, what's interesting.
Paul Ryan has been accused of lying a lot.
Well, they all are. What I found interesting was they act like Romney needed to get a nomination. 4 years ago when Obama won, the TV was already coming out with those Mormon ads. Remember them?
To get us
used to being
soap
a
us up a
Mormon.
little bit.
Sure.
Yeah.
That happened 4 years ago.
Okay, Jesse, always a
They're
pleasure
all
to have
waving at you.
I know, I have to go.
Wave back at them, Joy.
Bye. Up next.